What's up guys, Bloodshed here. Today we're going to cover two Necromancer starter builds. One's the GR20 version with the 4-piece Rathmas, and the other Necromancer starter build is just a fresh starter build with no gear, nothing. Now this is going to be for Season 11, Patch 2.6, Diablo 3 of course. Before we get into the two builds, I wanted to just talk about some quick tips with the Necromancer that might help you in the season gear out. So let's start off with that. As soon as you hit 70 in a new season, go ahead, if you have a few keys, do one Greater Rift. Even if you go and you do Greater Rift like level 1 with your character, that's on hard difficulty, you're gonna get Bane of the Powerful guaranteed right away. And then when you do kill an elite pack, that's gonna give you a 20% increased damage buff instantly. So if you have two keys, just do a GR level 1, get your free legendary gem, and then you can use it in any legendary item, piece of jewelry that you have. It's a really nice damage boost right out the gate. Another great damage boost right out the gate is Reaper's Wraps. You can craft Reaper's Wraps at the blacksmith, about 2 crafted materials per craft. You can kit it by actually just killing Malthael. So go to Act 5, Pandemonium Fortress, go kill Malthael. For the season journey, you have to do bounties anyway, so you might actually land Malthael on one of the bounties, and if somebody else gets the bounty, just make sure to port to that person. That way you're there for the kill, and you do get the pattern for Reaper's Wraps. Reaper's Wraps are used in a lot of Necromancer builds. It gives really good amount of resource, and since Necromancers don't have any of their own bracers, it's nice to get these early on, essentially for free. When you do hit 70, you're gonna have some blood shards most likely in your inventory. I would definitely use them on something important and something very cheap, like anything that's a 25 variety is good. For me personally, I might do a mystery belt. That'll get me the Dainty's Blessing belt, or probably my gloves. The gloves are gonna be Explosive Blast gauntlets. They look like this. They're called Grasps of Essence. Now, when you use Explosive Blast, enemies take up to 500% increased damage from Explosive Blast. It's really good early on. This is gonna segue us into our next tip, which is you can make another level 1 Necromancer. So make a separate character at level 1, and you can roll your blood shards at Kadala. Okay, so I'm a level 1 character. I have blood shards, I'm at Kadala, and you can roll gloves. And the first thing I got was a Grasp of Essence. Yeah, you can actually get them and put them in the cube at level effing 1. It's really good. That's the only legendary item. I've rolled thousands of blood shards, and that's the only item I've ever gotten from Kadala as far as gloves go, is Grasps of Essence. So that's a nice way to kind of force RNG's hand. And you can see I rolled many things. I rolled a bunch of legs. I got Poxfall. As far as rings, all these are on my level 1 character. It limits the item pool, right? So only thing I ever got was Grasp of Essence. So you can be a level 70 character with Grasps of Essence and do incredible damage. Just face roll the GR20 clear, face roll, torment, whatever you're on early on. I rolled some chests. I got the Heart of Iron. So you can see some of the things that I've gotten. I did get a Julian's Evil ring also at level 1. It's a level 16 item naturally, but at Kadala I got it at level 1. So it kind of forces RNG. It's a nice little tip for these gauntlets. This is probably what I'm gonna roll on a level 1 Necro, is these Grasps of Essence gauntlets. Super important to my build and what I'm gonna be working toward. As you're working through the seasonal journey, you're going to be, completing the tasks. One of the tasks every season before you get your 6-piece bonus is to upgrade something in the cube. That's called the Hope of Cain recipe. Now, you basically use 25 of each crafting materials, and I would recommend you do a one-handed scythe, and you have the potential to get a random legendary. So let's see what we get. Transmute. I'll never forget you, scythe. We got a Scythe of the Cycle. So if you get this early on at level 70, it's a huge damage multiplier. You'll destroy your GR20 clear. You'll get started off on the right foot. Basically, it's a really nice multiplicative damage bonus. You may also get a Funary pick, which isn't bad. Siphon Blood now splits into 3. Another monster scythe you can land is the Trigul's Corroded Fang. It's used in almost every single Necromancer build. Any items you get along the way, make sure you put in the bank. Even if they're not level 70, you can actually put them in the cube at a lower level. If you guys know any other tips for a level 70 character, make sure to put them in the comments below, as these things really do help people looking for a lot of different tips and tricks. All right, let's talk about the starter build. Now this starter build was tested with no Paragon, no legendary gems, No legendaries, all yellows, all marquee gems, literally nothing beneficial in the cube. You're gonna have a lot more than this, like a Bane of the Powerful and things like that, but this is basically nothing. Right out the gate, no 2-piece bonus, 4-piece bonus, basically a bare bones, you get the idea. Now, as you can see the gameplay, we have Corpse Explosion. So we're creating corpses by using skeletal mages. You can see the skeletal mages on the screen. They basically kill something, create a corpse. And Siphon Blood also does pretty good damage with Power Shift. Create corpses, target low HP enemies, or if you can see the target of your skeletal mages, attack that target. Create a corpse, start blowing stuff up. It creates a chain reaction, creates more corpses. And this is really good with the explosive blast. I always say that, the corpse explosion, not explosive blast. The corpse explosion gloves, really good as a stacking damage increase. And Simulacrum, and make sure you pop Simulacrum. When you're at full resource, it's gonna double your resource and make your mages hit like a truck. So if you know the Rift Guardian's coming up, you make sure you wanna save it for that. You can kind of see the gameplay, create corpses, blow things up. Create mages with your essence. It's really not meant to have mages up full time. If you run to kill Malthael and get your Reaper's Wraps, you can probably swap one of these out, maybe Dark Reaping or Swift Harvesting. I'd probably swap out Swift Harvesting for the Globe Rune, right? You're gonna get, when you consume a corpse with Corpse Explosion basically, you're gonna have a 20% chance to spawn a globe. Blood Rush Metabolism, you can swap it out for Molting to create more corpses if you like, for a Corpse Explosion. That's not a bad choice, but I do like the mobility of Metabolism. It gives us 2 jumps, right? 2 Blood Rushes. It's really handy, especially when you're trying to keep up with other classes next season if you're in group play. Command Golem's obviously going to create some corpses for us, more Corpse Explosions on call. And then the passive synergizes with that. So yeah, this is not a bad starter build. I was farming T1 pretty effectively, I guess, with absolutely nothing. Make sure to use a Scythe so you can get the maximum essence, and on your Phylactery maximum essence. I actually was using a shield in the video, which was a mistake. You want to use a Phylactery. More damage, more resource. It all kind of goes into the Singularity Skeletal Mages. Topaz in the gear, cooldown in the helm for Simulacrum, and a green gem's pretty good for critical hit damage in your weapon. All right, now that you guys have your starter build, you're going to be playing, progressing through the season. You're going to complete your chapter 2 of the season, your chapter 3 of the season. You're going to get your 4-piece Rathma build. Okay, now that is going to set you up really nice. The 4-piece Rathma build has a cooldown on Army of the Dead, so when your minions deal damage, they're lowering the cooldown on Army of the Dead. You also get a 50% damage reduction, so we're pretty tanky, and we have a big cooldown to work around. So this is going to be the GR20 portion of the build. Like, how are you going to complete the GR20? Now, this build was tested with 0 Paragon, nothing beneficial in the cube, no legendary gems, only baseline marquee gems everywhere. Just really basic bare bones shit, okay? But it's really strong. As you can see in the video, you pretty much just run around, spam all your cooldowns. One thing to note is illusion mobs are kind of tough with this build, and look for density and elites, right? If it's just like 3 or 4 mobs, just run past them. Look for a lot of density and look for elites to kill. Even like a 5-pack of elites is fine. It's just illusion mobs seem to be the weakness. All right, let's take a deeper look into the build. As you can see, I'm using Siphon Blood Bloodsucker. That's going to be pulling in all kinds of globes that we're spawning from the Life for Death passive, Life from Death. And we're using the Reaper's Wraps like we talked about. So we're getting lots of resource back just from using these abilities. Skeletal mages, the attack speed mages, the faster you attack, the faster the cooldown on our 4-piece. You can see the build that I used, low damage, nothing beneficial in the cube from what we're playing, and no Paragon. Command Golem, Flesh Golem is going to spawn corpses, and then we absorb those corpses automatically with Devouring Aura. Now, if you want more healing, you can switch to Cannibalize. That's a really good one as well. Frenzy makes them attack faster, faster attack speed, lower cooldown on Army of the Dead. Army of the Dead, Valley of the Dead is really great to group up all the mobs in the area, and it increases your survivability too, because it takes everything off of you and focuses it on one little square. Aberrant Animator. Now this is really important. You use this passive, it's really good, but you don't have to completely design your gear around it, okay? Like I have thorns on I think 5 pieces, So get it where you can, but don't be obsessed about it. Make sure you get the orange gem in the weapon for that extra thorns damage. I think I have 18,000 total thorns damage right here, 18,495. So it's important, but don't like totally go crazy if you don't get it. And it's cheap to roll Yellow Gear's secondary for thorns damage, right? And you're gonna replace it eventually anyway. If you get like a nail biter or something when you're leveling, that might be really awesome to get to, or just something like that. Anything with thorns damage, a hack, it's really good, right? But you don't want to totally base your gear around it. You can see I still have crit and crit damage. I still have 44% chance to crit, get crit wherever you can. So it's kind of a weird build because I do crit damage, physical damage on your bracers, and I still kind of look for thorns. It's kind of like a hybrid type build, but this is really important. I definitely noticed an increase in efficiency when I added this and about 5 pieces with thorns damage on it. Extended Servitude is going to keep our mages up longer. Life from Death we talked about, and Dark Reaping. So this is important as well. You're getting essence and life per kill, and we're killing a lot and getting essence back. And you make sure you have to use a scythe. So make sure you're using a scythe to get the essence to trigger it. If you're using anything else, it's not going to work. But if you get like a really good legendary, you can use that, and you can drop Dark Reaping for spreading malediction, or Commander of the Dead for more golem cooldown, or whatever you want. It's pretty face roll type build. You can craft a phylactery for the offhand. I use the shield just for more tankiness. That way we can just get through the rift, get it done, get our 6-piece. And once you get your 6-piece, you get crazy damage multipliers. So yeah, it's a game changer getting that 6-piece bonus. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video today, the dual starter build / Necromancer 70 tip video. If you get a second, follow me at twitch.tv/bloodshed. I stream there 6 days a week. We talk about a lot of nonsense. We also have some pretty cool Diablo discussions. I'm kind of excited for Destiny 2 coming out. I might play that at the end of my streams. What else? Big shout out to the patrons, the Twitch subs, the Patreon bros, the Bit Boys. I see all of you. Thank you for the support and what you do. I will see you in the next video. This is the Bloodshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.